Yo, yo, yo. Wait, let's make sure everything is over there is muted. I believe everybody can hear me. Everybody can hear me. Hello, everybody. Thank you for coming out today. We're doing the 3v3 Siege tournament, the 3x3 as it's been dubbed. I got my boy Zubaz here with me. He's going to be co-hosting, co-anchoring this event with me. Zubaz, thanks for jumping on kind of last minute here. I appreciate it a lot, my dude.
Thank you for having me. Happy to offer my expert analysis and jokes, mostly jokes about all the competitors.
Good. I'm expecting at least one zinger for especially all the owls competing. Okay, at least one. Um, so everyone, just so you guys know what this is a teams of three. So there are 18 contestants this month. It's all gonna be. I'm gonna go over the rules here in a second, but it's a tournament based around the siege the siege game mode in DC Legends. Teams of three. Everyone kind of teams up. There are 6 captains. We're gonna kind of jump right into the rules right here. Rule number 1: it's a $25 buy-in. So every contestant that is playing puts in $25 into a pot. Right now, like I said, we have 18, so that brings the contestants up to. I'm not good at math. Zubaz, what's 18 times 25?
Oh, is that what
450?
I'm here for?
I don't know.
Yeah, 450.
Okay, so
Divide that
450
by
bucks.
three, or you know,
Yeah,
$150 per winner.
$150 per winner per player on the team. Rule number 2 is all the matches need to be recorded. What this is for is this is to continue to uphold the integrity of the game. I don't, not that any of us believe that any of us are hacking, but if you record all the matches, there's no way you can be. So that is the reason for that rule. Rule number 4: captains, the captains that are picking the teams tonight, those are the highest placing siege participants from the month before. So it's going to go top to bottom. Top 6 ranked players that joined the tournament today. They're going to be the captains and choosing their teams. And then lastly, the draft is a snake draft. So the lowest ranking player from last month, they get the first pick. So they get to pick the best available, who they believe is the best available player. After that, they got to wait a couple picks and then they end the draft with the last pick. Okay. Now that's not saying they get the worst player, because I think all 18 players in this tournament are fantastic. We all have great rosters. We all have the know-how to play the game. Everyone can be a surprise, right? There's no lantern bonus tunes, so you know what that means. I only know how to play with lanterns, so I'm probably going second round. Probably towards the end. Just saying. Um, but yes, Hawkeye, we're drafting snakes. um, so that's kind of the rules that we have here. Zubaz, do you have anything that you kind of wanted to say? I don't know if you've kind of paid attention to what's been going on here in the tournament, but do you have anything you want to
I
add
have paid
before
a
we?
lot of attention. The only thing that I'm sad about for this draft, and maybe we can arrange this for the future, is I really want video cameras on all of the players. I want to see people's faces drop as they slowly fall down the draft board.
Okay.
To the end there when we're at Mr. Irrelevant for our final pick.
You know what? I think that would probably be pretty funny. Just to be like, if hate mail, gets picked last, he's gonna be like, "What the heck, guys?" Right? Or you got players like Sheriff Lobo, you got Empowered out there, you got Driven, you got Almost Deaf, Streets Ahead. I mean, these are all, Doomsday. These are all top level players, and all of us think. I mean, you got to have a little bit of self confidence in any kind of tournament, right? So anyone wants to go first, but you
Yeah, I
know,
mean, I want this to be school board, or schoolyard style, where everybody's just in a group, and you got the little measly kid at the end, and that was never me whatsoever. Definitely nothing I've ever experienced in my life, but I want others to experience that.
there you go. Yeah, you've never been the last kid picked. Yeah, I can,
Never in my
I can,
life,
I can, I
ever.
can. Okay, okay. Well, you should join the you should join the tournament next month, Zubaz, so that when I'm a captain, I can pick you last. No, I'm just kidding.
All right, we'll see. We'll
Uh,
see.
what we're gonna do here, we're gonna go ahead and introduce. We're gonna get started, and to get us started, we are going to. Oh, there was one other thing I forgot to do. I apologize. Before we get too much further, I want to give a huge shout out to Joshuars and Vagrant Soul. Joshuars of the 1500 and Vagrant Soul of the Guardians. They helped me put together a lot of the graphics that we're going to be playing and seeing and doing here tonight on the draft. So shout out to those guys. They put a lot of work into it. Really helped me out. And I really think you guys are in store for something fun, something special, because they did a really good job. But without further ado, we're going to go ahead and jump into the introducing the captains for tonight's draft. And I forgot to click the button. Here we go. So there we go. There are your captains. You have Chosen One placing first or he won World's Finest and also is the #1 captain. M4 with the quick second place. Second captain, Burger, Costly, Joshua's Vagrant Soul. Now, the cool thing about these 6 players is not only were they the top six, whoa, PG stream, top 6 Siege players in this tournament, they also all 6 were top 7 ranked in the actual Siege. Zubaz, that's a pretty big deal. I mean, to have 6 of the top 7 players.
A huge deal. Everybody knows every name that's up there. There's no doubt that these are, the best of the best, the whales of the whales. So I think it'll be good. I think there's question marks surrounding some of them, but we'll get into that as we go.
Okay. So we have Vagrant Soul. Vagrant Soul, he is on the clock and he is putting in his pick right now. If you had the first pick here, Zubaz, who do you think you would take as #1? #1 overall. Remember, this is your you're the top player, but this is your kind of #2 guy. This is the #2 on your team. Who would you take?
My personal top pick here out of everybody that's left, I would easily go with Sheriff Lobo. Sheriff Lobo is the original king of Siege before Joshua just dethroned him, and it's people were stunned at how quote unquote low Sheriff Lobo was last Siege, and he was like 13th. Like that just goes to show you like how strong of a player he is. People are like, "Whoa, he's not doing so well this month," and he was still killing everybody.
Yeah, no, he like 13th is nothing to snuff at, right? Like that's you're still in the top 13 players of the game that decided to play the Siege tournament and buy every single day, right? Like that's still an insane accomplishment. The man has, I mean, he is all there, all he has the most Siege wins. And actually, Zubaz, the pick is in, so we're gonna go ahead and get this first pick rolling. I'm gonna go ahead and let this. Who did he pick? The pick is in with the first pick of the inaugural 3x3 Siege Tournament Draft. Vagrant Soul selects.
There it is. I couldn't have done it better myself. Nice pick, Vagrant Soul.
Yep. So there's the sheriff card. Okay, that is underneath all the names, but basically, Vagrant, you get Sheriff Lobo. Now, Sheriff Lobo, he finished 13th with 3,075 points last month, as you pointed out too. But 3,000 points in a siege, that's still a lot of points, right? And he's a 6-time siege winner. 6 times. That's 6 times world's finest. I mean,
It's
I don't know that
unheard of. Absolutely
there's a
unheard
better
of.
first pick there, right?
Right.
Most people I think would be shocked that he's not a captain himself. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Um, but that is Vagrant Soul. Congrats to you on getting Sheriff Lobo, and Joshua's is on the clock. Let me make sure these guys know on the clock. Um, so now Joshua's is coming here. Now if you watch Joshua's stream at all today, Zubaz, were you there? Um,
I was.
okay. He doesn't have a lot of bonus tunes geared.
He does
So
not have a lot of bonus tunes geared. And it's interesting. A lot of people are very critical of Josh. He is the king of Siege who has never won Siege. But maybe he throws it all together
self-proclaimed,
here.
self-proclaimed. But
Well, it
maybe
is self-proclaimed. I will say, Josh has said to me that other people have called him the king of Siege, and in truth, like I've been walking on the street in New Orleans. Josh has never been to New Orleans, and I have heard people call him the king of Siege in New Orleans.
okay.
So,
Wow.
you
That's
know,
pretty good, man. That's pretty good. That is pretty good. Not to cut you off, Zubaz, but I think Josh came into this draft with a little bit of a plan because
okay.
his pick is already in. So with the second pick in the 3x3 Siege Tournament draft, Joshua selects the one and only now. There is. Did you saw that, right, Zubaz? You saw that he picked the one and only hate mail. Okay.
I see it. Yes.
Now
There it is.
here's hate mail's card. Okay. He finished 8th place last month with a score of 3,185. A fun fact about hate mail for you, real quick. He likes to blame his RNG for the lack of his skills. So that's going to be an interesting dynamic between him and Joshua's going into this siege.
I think it'll be an interesting dynamic too, because Joshua's and Hate Mail have often been kind of nipping at each other. They definitely are very competitive with each other. So you gotta see, are they going to be able to coexist? That's the
Are
big question here.
That is the big question. The other thing, though, and I will say this about Josh's pick: Hate Mail has a Rebirth 5 Hawk Girl. Okay,
That's a
she's
smart move.
she's a Siege bonus tune. He's got a Rebirth 5. That's pretty good. King of RNG versus the worst RNG in the game, or paired with the worst RNG. Maybe they will. What's the word I'm looking for here? Maybe they will balance each other out a little bit.
Yeah,
um,
little yin yang action going there. I like to see it, and I like to see people reaching across the aisle. Obviously people know about the slight rivalry between the 1500 and the Owls, and if I can change and you can change, we all can change. That's from
mm-hmm.
Rocky Four, and I think Josh Roars and Hate Mail could really bring those two alliances together.
I think that's gonna be good. Um, that is a good point. Costly is on the clock, and he is taking his sweet time making his pick right here. Um, I'm not trying to be the Roger Goodell of the 3x3 Siege tournament, but if he doesn't make his pick, he might have to go down a spot. I'm not saying, but it's a chance. Okay, he must have heard me talking, Zubaz, because he put his pick, and his pick is in. And with the third pick in the first round of the 3x3 tournament, Mostly Costly selects.
My favorite owl. I'll go on record. My favorite owl. Here it comes.
There you go. So Hawkeye, um, just so you know, just to make it clear with the chat and with everybody watching, uh, he's not actually a hawk. He's just a regular guy, right? Um, but so Hawkeye going over to, my voice just cracked there like I was going through puberty. But Hawkeye going over to Mostly Costly, and that puts Burger on the clock. But let's talk about that mostly costly Hawkeye pairing. There's another 1,500 picking an owl.
That is true. Now, I mean, mostly costly. He is obviously familiar with the owls. He certainly understands, as a former owl, what it is that they have to deal with. But I think it's a good pick. I think um, you have to get along with your teammates, and there is nobody to get along easier with than Hawkeye. He is just like the greatest dude, and so I think that is just a very very smart pick.
I agree. I think that is a Hawkeye. If you guys don't know, Hawkeye had a little bit of an off siege this last month. I didn't go over his ranking. I think he was ranked. Let me see. Oh, that's his name, not his card. He was ranked 23rd with a score of 2834. That is not his normal score. Normally, he is much closer to that top 10, top 15 rank. Every month. So that is a great pickup for there. And you know what? This is what's going to start being fun, Zubaz, is these picks are starting to fly in here. So
They are.
Burger has put in with the fourth pick in the first round of the 3x3 tournament. Burger 8200 selects.
I am shocked by this. This is one of those things that I wish I had video cameras for.
This is one of those things, right? So he picked empowered. He picked empowered.
Hinzo is saying it in the chat, and smart money was on Burger picking Loot there, and he did not. Awkward. This is when we all hang out later.
Yeah,
That's gonna be a little bit of collar wrinking.
when Burger and Luke go out, Luke's gonna be like, bro, you picked a Guardian over me. Like, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with you?
I mean, maybe
we already
he's
have
thinking Loot will fall into the next round. I don't know.
I mean, Loot could fall. I mean, Loot did place. I think we'll get to Loot in a second, but when he's picked, I think he placed a little bit lower last month, so maybe there's a little bit of recency bias to that, right?
Yeah, I could see
but
that.
the pick of Empowered from Burger, he thinks he's good at the game, but most of the time he's a part of his head is like in the clouds, right? So he placed ninth last month with a score of 3,144. That's anything over 3,000 is very very good. If you get a team that can score, if you get three members that are scoring 3,000 or more, you're gonna win this tournament. That I'll just place it hands down.
I would think so. This is going to be interesting, and the question marks around Burger. He was on M4's team last siege. Burger outperformed every siege that he has ever done until this point. Now M4 went on record and he said, "No, Burger can do this without me." And that's when we're going to find out. And I think Burger getting empowered is a way to kind of, maybe he can replace a little bit of that M4 knowledge.
Yeah, Empowered does have a lot of team comp building and team building. I don't know if you remember, quick little history lesson. Do you remember maybe 8 months ago when the Guardians actually kind of pushed the Owls in raid and they had come up with that random Guy Gardner team that they were using?
I recall that, yeah.
That was Empowered's team comp that he came up with. So that's a good one there. The pick is in. Actually, this is really quick. These they're giving me the picks before I can even talk about them. So, with the fifth pick, in the first round of the 3x3 Siege tournament draft, M4 selects the one and only.
You had to know it was coming. There was no way that M4 was going to allow another owl to fall further down the board like that.
You had to know Loot was coming. You had to know that Loot wasn't going to be long for this board. And I'll tell you what, one of the big things, M4 and Loot, they are like good buddies, like outside of just DCL. So I think that's going to be very, very important going into this. One of the neat that everybody knows Loot from his famous quote, "Back the truck up," right? I mean, he says it every month for everybody. and everybody loves it, right? So he placed, like I said, we were talking about it a little earlier, Zubaz. He had a little bit of a rough siege last month. Placed 19th, 2,913 points, I think is what that says. Little bit more of a rough siege for him, but I know he's one of those players that's going to bounce back. He has a world's finest under his belt, right? Um,
Yeah.
so
And I,
he's
I think there's some good synergy there with M4 because here's kind of how I see it. You got two guys that approach problems very, very differently. M4 goes into surgery and he brings a scalpel, and it is the most
mhm.
precise thing you will ever witness in your life. Loot goes into surgery and he brings in a chainsaw, and he's like, let's just cut this right the hell off, right? So
Yep,
I
yep,
think
yep.
maybe there'll be some balance there where maybe M4 could bring a little bit of subtlety to Loot, and Loot brings a little bit more of that smashing to hopefully push M4 to the next level. I think it's a great pick.
hmm whenever I think of Loot playing Siege, I think of the old kids toy, the Sock'em Boppers, but they were like the Hulk hands, and I just think Loot smash, right? So
That's it.
that's
Yep.
that's what I think there. So with the last pick, the sixth pick in the first round, wrapping up the first round here. Chosen One, his pick is in, and this is where the tournament, or this is where it gets a little interesting because Chosen now gets back-to-back picks. So he gets to pick one and he gets to finish out his roster first. So this is a really good spot for Chosen. His first pick is in, and with the sixth pick in the 3x3 Siege Tournament draft, Chosen selects Almost Death. Right there, another 1,500 member coming off the board here. Chosen bringing him in at the end of round one. Boom. Almost Death. He placed 12th
Love that
last.
pick.
I love it. Go ahead. You
Yeah,
go. You go. You go.
Almost Deaf, I've said this before, but Almost was the victim of one of the greatest owl assassination attempts that we've seen, where he was gonna be in the top 10, he was cruising to the top 10, and all of a sudden every owl was attacking Almost at the end of the siege, and it dropped him just out of the top 10. Grandpa Owl finished ahead of him, Streets Ahead, I think might have edged him out too, and he's going to be out for blood. So
Yeah, I think so too.
I would not underrate Almost Deaf ever again.
I would not. And one of a neat little fact about Almost Deaf is he is a pretty badass musician in his free time.
He
He
is. He
sometimes,
plays in New Orleans, and I wish I
yeah.
had known that. But when they come back on tour and everything, I will definitely be there, and I will be the first one there, and maybe we'll be celebrating a 3x3 siege victory together. Who knows?
Hey, if it does, right? But look at that. I'm just gonna point something out here. Chosen picked a 1,500 member over three Guardians. Three Guardians
God,
there.
it's gonna be awkward. It's gonna be real awkward when all these guys go back to their alliances later. That's what I love about this.
They're gonna be like, "Why didn't you pick me?" So Chosen, there's a little bit of controversy on Chosen's next pick. He's deciding if he wants to make this pick or not. He sent it to me, and then he kind of is there. There's a little bit of chatting, so I'm gonna give him a second. I gotta find where's Almost's card. Almost, congratulations on being the last pick in the first round. Great job. Okay. I need to know. I need to know your pick. Sorry, everybody. Chosen is being difficult as difficult does. Uh,
Sure, you know what? He has earned it though. I'm gonna
he
be honest.
has.
He won the
He
Tournament
has.
of Legends. He won Siege. He's got a little bit of room here. Um, I can't confirm this, but I did hear that if Chosen wins Siege again, that they are making extra room on Mount Olympus, and that he's just going to become a
Oh,
Greek god at that point. So
okay. Okay. So here comes the pick is in the official pick from Chosen One, and it may shock some of you.
I've never heard of this guy.
You know him. You love him. The one and only. There can only be one. There can only be one DaBoy. With the first pick in the second round of the 3x3 Siege Tournament Draft, Chosen One takes DaBoy, yours truly. And let me tell you this, Zubaz, real quick. Fun fact about DaBoy here in this draft is he's actually the maniac that started the whole Rebirth 5 someone in the first, month or whatever. Um, he did
Yeah,
play
I think we knew that.
16th. He did play 16th. 2936, so a little bit of a lesser, but again, that 29 to 3100, you get 3 players that score that, you're probably going to win the tournament, right?
Nice.
Um
Can we do a real quick live interview with the most recent draft pick?
Hey, you know what? Team Chosen, baby, let's go.
Let's do
Also,
it. So, to
this
DaBoy, how
is
do you feel about that team of Chosen and Almost? How you feeling?
that's the best team in the draft. I'm just gonna say it right now. I'm gonna throw it out there. Chosen, he overcame hit my what's the word, my handicap of not having any lantern bonus tunes, but I think we're gonna be fine. I think it's gonna be really good. And I would just like to say a quick shout out, all you guardians that are left on the board. That's your leader. So yeah, we're moving on. We're moving on back to
Awkward.
M4. Back to
So
M4.
awkward.
Also, Chosen did tell me that if we win this tournament, he picked 2 1,500 members, and this is a bit of foreshadowing. He did tell me before the draft that if he wins this with 1,500 members, he's actually coming to the 1,500. So you heard it here first.
Nice.
Breaking news. Breaking news.
Perfect.
But so we got the
I
second
know
pick.
for certain who M4 is gonna pick. There's no doubt in my mind. But
You think there's no
let's go to
doubt,
the
but
pick anyway.
we'll see here. With the second pick in the second round of the 3x3 Siege Tournament Draft, M4 selects. Let me find the video here. 1 second. Here we go. Let's roll it. So I know you guys can't see this, but this is kind of some of the fun part. This is kind of some of the fun part. There's a little bit of smack talking going on in the draft room. Okay. And M4 just laid down the gauntlet to Chosen, and he said, unlike some people, he actually loves his alliance members. So Streets Ahead. Now, a fun fact about Streets Ahead, Zubaz, and you kind of alluded to it earlier, and you stole the thunder a little bit, but that's okay. Streets Ahead, fantastic player. He's placed 12th place last month, 3165. Fun fact though, he's actually a failed top 10 siege hitman. He put out a siege for almost, or a hit for almost, and then he himself didn't make top 10. That's an 8. What? That's an 8.
He got sniped by Grandpa Owl,
He
and
did.
Grandpa
He
Owl is like one of the
did.
nicest dudes in the world. But he
He
just did it
did.
in cold blood. He was like, he's the opposite of M4. M4's out here like, oh, I'll do anything for my alliance, and Grandpa Owl's like, man, I'm top 10. Screw this.
Yeah, he's like just you wait. He's like he's quiet, silent. He's a silent assassin there, right? Um so that there we go. I mean, M4 loot and streets. That's pretty good, right? I
It's
mean,
a strong team.
it's 3 owls, right?
And Streets Ahead, he has not been an owl for that long. He's just he's coming into the owls recently, and
Mhm.
I think him having access to uh, basically M4's knowledge and Loot's kind of go getter and full roster abilities, I think
Yep.
that's really going to push Streets Ahead to the next level.
I agree. I think it's going to be very very good. Um and I don't expect anything. I don't expect anything from or anything less than top 15 finishes from probably all 3 of those guys. Um so
We got Burger on the board next, and a
yeah.
lot of the captains did not get fun facts, and I do want to share one fun fact about Burger.
Yeah.
Burger, a lot of people don't know this about him in real life. There are whales, and then there's Burger. And Berger actually, he owns whales. He breeds
Mm-hmm.
whales. He owns whales. He farms whales. So that's why you see, that's where he gets his money. That's why you see him with these RB2 tunes in the first month.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. If captains had gotten a player card, I was gonna put a quote probably from Berger where it said DaBoy took a character L1 from the from the tune packs, hold my beer, or something along those lines, right? Because that man, or even L5 from the character packs, hold his beer again. Because this man takes some rebirth one sometimes. So we got the next pick. It is in. The pick is in. Let's roll the tape. The co-host Kielbasa Sausage is Zubaz, formerly of the Owls, and now part of the best alliance in the game, the 1500. Let's roll the tape on Berger's pick here. Ready. Where's the video? There we go.
Interesting choice here. That's a wild card team.
That is, you know what? I will say, I think Driven is going to place higher than he did last month. Last month he placed 20th, a score of I think 2894. Fun fact about him, real quick. Before I give the actual fun fact, I asked Chosen, who was his leader. I asked a couple people. I was like, "Hey, give me something funny or sarcastic or something about Driven," and all of them were like, "Dude, Driven is like the nicest person like I've ever met. Like, there's not really anything that I have to say." And I was like, "Well, I need something here." And so he actually enjoys flying drones with his kids when he's not playing DC Legends, right? So good dad of the year card with your player card, Driven. Well done. Well done. You mentioned them being a wild card. I'm curious to hear why so.
I think, as far as I know, I mean, those are three players that I don't think know each other particularly well. And we've got different alliances out there. I think it'll be interesting.
I think it's Burger picked two Guardians.
Right.
Interesting. Interesting. Also, quick shout out. I know this stream is a little bit different, so I apologize for not saying thank you. Thank you so much to all the subs, the gifted subs, everybody for being here. I appreciate you all taking a quick intermission here because Costly gave me the pick really, really fast. But I appreciate all of you, the gifted subs, the bits. I don't remember if there were any bits in there, but I appreciate all of it. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much.
Burger loves gifting subs. Burger gifts more subs than like Jimmy John's. It's that's like his
More
thing to
subs
do.
than Jimmy John's, dude. That man's got more subs than Subway. All right, we're gonna go ahead and roll the tape. Mostly Costly with the fourth pick in the second round of the 3x3 Siege Tournament Draft. Let's roll the tape here and boom. Kaler. So he takes another he takes a Guardian. Now, real quick, I'm gonna throw this out here. The last three teams, so Costly, Joshuars, and Vagrant, are all three going to have one Owl, one 1500, and one Guardian. I think. Yes. Well,
Yeah,
maybe.
I think so
I
too.
don't know.
Well, yeah,
I don't know.
right.
It could break out that way. But sorry, I'm jumping ahead of myself. I was like, wait, these are both. Yeah, it could happen that way. But a famous quote from Kalern is, "Do you even Guy Gardner?" Like, if you guys don't remember, in the summer games, the WROL summer games, you had to submit a video of a team 1 versus 4, and he submitted a video of Guy Gardner 1v4ing, and I believe there were two blues, and one of the blues was Wonder Girl, if I remember correctly. And it's Guy Gardner. I mean, Guy Gardner's kind of underappreciated, right? So I mean, that he won. He won the summer games. But that was pretty impressive. He wasn't ranked very high last month. He placed decent in the Dark Side Siege, but I don't remember where he was in this siege. I don't think he was top 100, but he has placed top 20 multiple times. So that's actually a sleeper pick, I think, for Costly. I think that is going to be something to watch out for. Guy's not underappreciated. He really sucks. Historic. You better watch yourself, bro. That's my boy. He's a true Lantern fan. Okay, I'm not reading chat anymore. Josh Rars gave me the pick here. Josh Rars gave me the pick, and I love it. I love it. I think it's going to be good. We're going to roll the tape here. And with the 5th pick in the second round of the 3x3 Siege tournament Siege tournament thing, whatever, Josh Rars selects.
I actually wish you could roll.
I wish I could too. I wish I could too. So you guys don't know this because you can't see these, but to place that pick there, Joshua Rars picks Doomsday. And in order to place that pick, what Josh did was he sent a GIF or a GIF, however you say it, tomato, of Doomsday beating his chest like a gorilla. So, or never mind. It was not beating his chest like a gorilla. That's what I saw out of my mind. He broke out of some containment. Now, Doomsday. Doomsday placed 40th last month. He actually, when I asked him for like a quote or a fun fact, he said he's actually a big teddy bear in real life and he saves his fits of rage for DC Legends. So we will see how that translates into Siege here. Hopefully there's not any rage quitting or anything like that. Doomsday, I'm looking at you. But that is a double 1500 team up with an owl, right? A double 1500 team up with hate mail, right?
Yeah.
So that's a strong team there.
I think it'll be interesting. I mean, so like I said earlier, Joshua Rars and hate mail kind of nip at each other all the time. Doomsday, I know that he is a teddy bear in real life, but he is not like that in the game. He is an angry Doomsday. He lives. He is Doomsday the character, and that is a volatile team. I will be very interested to see how they can get along, if they can get along, or if in about a week and a half they implode.
Oh, that would be something. And then Vagrant Soul, just for formality's sake, with the final pick in the inaugural 3x3 Siege tournament, Vagrant Soul selects the newest member. Here we go. Now, Scorpio, he is, I believe he's a new-ish Guardian as well. So he's new to the tournament here. He's new to the Guardians. I'm excited to see where he places, where he does now with a team behind him of Vagrant and Sheriff, right? I mean, those are two perennial top 10 players. He placed 27th with a score of, I think it's 26-11. The graphics are a little small. I apologize for that, chat. But he placed 27th there. Again, Scorpio, I reached out. I apologize, Scorpio, if you had a better quote or fun fact. But in the spirit of Mortal Kombat, the only thing that I thought of when I thought of your name was "Get over here." So that's the quote that you said. That's the quote that you gave me. But that's what we got, man. I mean, that's the teams there.
That's solid.
I don't think that there is a team in here that necessarily has a overbearing advantage over either of the others, right? I think that all 6 of these teams could take it home, right? Again, I told you, the math supports if you get in between that 2950 to 3100 and all 3 of you guys score that, you will win the tournament. Okay? We also, there's talk of trades, so we'll see if any trades happen. I don't know about all that. That was way too much. But we'll see. We'll talk about trades later, guys. But anyways, thank you guys all for joining. Thank you for coming out. I appreciate it. Zubaz, thank you for co-hosting this with me and giving some kind of color commentary here.
Absolutely honored to be here.
There would have been a lot of dead air and dead silence without you, so I appreciate it. All of you guys that came out and
glad I could
watched,
fill that space.
I appreciate that. All of you guys that came out here and viewed the draft, I appreciate you. Again, the subs, the bits, the follows, the views, everyone just coming out. Good luck to none of you except for Chosen and Almost. So you guys have a good rest of the night. I'll catch you guys later. I will be streaming not a draft, probably on Friday or Saturday. So I will catch you guys all later. Have a great rest of the night and good luck.